The Supreme Court of Israel typically has used basic law in order to strike down non-basic law. It's in the same way that the Supreme Court of the United States will use the Constitution to strike down particular legislation. The same thing sort of happens here. In the 1990s, there was a seizure of power by the Supreme Court, and they decided that from now on, they could basically just say reasonableness to strike down a variety of executive actions and legislation. Well, Bibi Netanyahu's current coalition, they said the Supreme Court has too much power. We don't want them to do that anymore. So now you're going to have to cite something that's not reasonableness if you want to strike down legislation. You want to make this a basic law. Right? They actually encoded this in a basic law, saying this will now be the law of the state of Israel, and it is considered quasi-constitutional. So one of the questions, the big question that's now come up before the Supreme Court, is whether the Supreme Court of Israel can strike down a basic law in the name of, like, again, normally in the United States, use the Constitution to strike down a bad piece of legislation.